Stevenson, and welcome to the PCM marketing system overview with myself and Scott Hache. Scott Hache is the owner of the system that we have elected to use now, and I just wanted to touch base on a couple of things and then hand over to Scott, who will take you through some of the features of this system, how you can make it work for yourselves, how to benefit from it and how to use it, and how to maximize the marketing system and, of course, in turn, your revenue. Now, as you're aware, we initially had a different type of system. It's called the PCM Team Builder. It was a great stopgap while we started developing the business and the program, and it was used very, very effectively by a lot of people. However, it wasn't good enough for what we wanted to be able to do. It wasn't good enough for the way we wanted to move forward with PCM and Prosperity Cash Machine in the future, and it just needed to be changed and moved on. The other thing that's important, and obviously everyone on this call will know, is we have a free system and a pro system. Now, the best things in life aren't free, whether it's free leads, free traffic, free this, free that, free opportunities. The only thing you end up being is income free. And we did a poll before Christmas, and obviously of the people answered, the vast majority, over 87% of people, said that if the pro system was good, then they'd be willing to spend $20 on it. And that's the route we went down. So I'm hoping that most of you on the call this evening have the pro system, because it's the pro system that Scott is going to share with us this evening. Right? So if you've got the free system, which you can have, and it'll capture emails for you, and it'll do a basic contact management for you, and help you with your marketing, then you're great and well done. If you're serious about making money, if you're serious about getting involved in internet marketing and marketing your PCM business with autoresponders and all the latest tools and techniques, then you need the pro system. Everything you spend on your business becomes a tax-deductible expense, which is very important to realize, because you should be coming into this business knowing that you're in it to make money. This is something that we will be covering on another call, but you join a home-based business knowing and desiring to make money. And so the fact you have a $20 a month towards your tools to help you promote that business and make money, really is not important. So with that, I'd like to make sure Scott can hear me okay. Scott, I'm sure you can.
I certainly can.
Great. And what I would like to do is introduce you to someone who's become a very good friend of both myself and Julie over the last 2 months that we've been putting this system together, and that's the owner of our system, which is Scott Hache. So Scott, I'd like to hand over to you, and if I have any questions that I think of, I will just interrupt you if that's okay. So
Sounds
everybody,
great. Thank you so much.
Enjoy, Scott, and we'll talk shortly. Over to you, Scott.
All right, thanks, Paul. I appreciate that, and we have some really exciting stuff to show you. We've here at the Platinum Synergy Group, and we've created this Prosperity Cash Machine with, of course, your leadership, and we've been building these systems for quite a few years. We've spent the last 15 years developing techniques and not only software but marketing techniques, as well as the infrastructure in behind the scenes to make sure that you have the tools that you need, from the autoresponders all the way to the webinar replay system that you're going to see today. And we have quite a few tools that are built directly into the Prosperity Cash Machine system that you're going to be able to take advantage of, and it's all built in. The one thing that I've known from a lot of experience in building these systems is it has to be very simple for people to be able to use. It can't be a huge learning curve for not only yourself, but also for the new people that you bring on board to the company as well. So we recognize that. So we made sure that when we built this system that it's very, very simplistic flow, but very powerful at the same time. You may know what an autoresponder is, or you may not know what an autoresponder is. The great thing about the way that this system works is you don't really necessarily need to know what the technology does. You just need to know that it works for you, because we have a lot of tools that are in behind the scenes that are doing a lot of the work for you. And today on this call, I want to go through the process as a prospect. So you'll see how somebody on if you are a paid member and you have upgraded your system to the pro version, how it's going to go, how a prospect will go through the process, and exactly how they will actually show up in your back office. And when we go into the back office, as you're seeing here on your screen, I also on this call today want to show you exactly how you can work with that particular prospect and how the system will work with that person for you as well. So let's start off here, and I'm going to go to the main screen of the front end of the system here, and this is an example of a lead capture page that you would receive if you are a upgraded user. So if you have the pro version, you will have your own version of this website. So it would be pcmsystem.com / and then your username. So whatever you choose as your username in the system, this will be your new replicating website that you will be able to then go ahead and market. Now, there are two stages within this initial lead capture. The first stage that you're seeing here is an email capture. So when you market this website out there, say over Facebook, or if you're using it to market it within Google, or even if you're placing ads in newspapers or whatnot, and any other sorts of offline advertising, you can bring people directly to this, in a sense, billboard landing page. So that when they take a look at this, they see that there's a video there to play, and it requires them to enter in their best email address in order to watch the free presentation now. So I'm just going to go ahead, and I'm actually going to add an email address in here, just as an example, and I'm going to click on Go Now. Now here's the thing. This email address has now been put into the back end of the system and has been added to an autoresponder sequence. And for those of you who don't know what an autoresponder is, what it is, it's an email system that will automatically touch base and nurture this particular lead. So in this particular case, when this lead comes in and puts their email address in, they're automatically getting emails from you right out of the gate. The second that they put their email address in, and it's going to be sent over a period of time out to these individuals. So the machine's already starting to do the work for you the second that they put their email address in. Now, for a lot of people, and this is the #1 question that we've been getting even through support, is this email address is in there, but I can't see it in my back office. Well, what happens is this email is in behind the scenes, and it is being followed up with, and you can actually search for it, but the lead itself will not actually come into your system as a prospect you need to call until they've actually registered for this next step. And that will get you their full name, their phone number, and of course have a better confirmed email address for them as well. Not only that, but you're going to see what happens after we take this next step. Because when they come into this second stage here, they have the opportunity to register for this webinar. What we have built into this system with PCM Marketing System is an instant replay webinar tool. What that means is people have the ability to be able to select the times that we have webinars playing on a consistent basis. So this is like a live webinar, kind of like what we're doing here today, but it's actually pre-recorded and pre-done so that it can be played at all different times throughout the day. So people are going to register for these webinars. They're going to pick the time that's best suited for them. They're going to show up with a notepad in hand, and they're going to watch this webinar. And it's being played, and it's a perfect webinar preset and behind the scenes. So it's in a sense it's simulating that live experience. So people will mark it in their calendars. They will show up and everything like that. But at the same time, it is completely recorded. So let's book ourselves into one right now. So I'm just going to complete my information here. I'm just going to put in a fake phone number there, and I'm going to put my email address right back in here. Now what you're going to see when we go into the back office afterwards is you're going to see that this particular prospect now shows up as somebody that I need to be calling as a member. So I'm just going to select the time slot for 8 p.m. and I'm going to register for this webinar. And what it's going to do is bring us to our webinar confirmation screen. This screen right here will allow people to now have their own personalized link. So each link that we send out to these people are unique specifically to that individual. You'll also see that it allows them to be able to add their webinar directly to their calendar. So if they use Outlook, Google Calendar, Thunderbird, iCal, or any other type of calendar, it will actually allow you to be able to add it directly to your calendar. So it makes people understand and realize that they need to be there. Behind the scenes, our system's also going to be sending them out a reminder beforehand, a few hours beforehand, and also right before the call, just to make sure that they are going to be participating in that event. So we're doing everything we can right now to get that person on that particular presentation. And of course, you have the ability right
Scott,
here. Yes, please go ahead.
Scott, can I just interject there? We did say, I tell you what, the other thing is I've also had an email now, because Scott's come into the admin system. I've had an email telling me that Scott, with all his details, is now registered for the webinar. So I'm up to speed with exactly what's going on within my business. Carry on, Scott.
Excellent. Great point. There's an alert that always also goes out once that person's registered, and it's great that you jumped in and mentioned that because we are logged into Paul's account here, so that he would have got an alert right now saying that I'm registered for the presentation. You know that person's being taken care of already, and they're going to be watching it. And you're going to be seeing this person. You'll see my name show up in the back office when we go back in there. So one of the other things that people can do on this page, which is really kind of neat, is it allows them to be able to share this webinar with friends. What a great concept. You know, a lot of people that are looking to make money. I'm excited to be part of this webinar. I want to see what's happened. I want to see the 20-minute presentation that changes everything. And of course, at this point as a prospect, I have the opportunity to be able to share this. Now, this is the neat thing. When they share this webinar with your friends, they're going to bring them back to your capture page. So if I send out to 5 friends that you got to take a look at this, it'll bring them automatically back into my capture page. It's a viral way to be able to generate more leads. So right now, I'm in the staging area. When it comes time for the webinar link, of course, we sent them an email with this information as well, so the prospect knows what this link is in their email, as well as on this screen. But you'll see here, if they come into the webinar a little bit earlier, what's going to happen is it's going to, it'll count down. So it's very similar to like a movie theater in that sense. Your movie's going to start in 4 hours and 42 minutes at this point. So this will count down, and once it starts, here's the neat thing about it. Right now, I'm just going to jump across really quickly. I don't want to confuse too many people, but I'm just going to jump across here, and you'll see here that my name, I've actually registered a couple times today for testing. But you'll see here that my status in my back office is webinar registered. That's the neat thing, because the second that person puts their information in and goes to this next step, automatically I will get my email, like Paul mentioned, as well as they will turn up in my back office as registered. Now, once this clock counts all the way down, so it automatically turns in from 4 hours and it goes down to 0. What happens is they're going to automatically change their status to webinar attended. So the system will let you know which people have registered, which people have attended, and of course, nearing the end of the presentation, it'll automatically switch their status to webinar completed. So you'll be able to tell who registered, who showed up, and who finished the webinars right in your back office. And this is all taken care of automatically for you. Another neat thing about this this presentation room, as the person's watching the 20-minute presentation, if they have any kind of questions, they can type in these questions here and say, how do I start? And I click on send. The message will be sent, and right now Paul just got a message pop up on his cell phone saying, how do I start? So this person has gone through the internet, gone through the processes, the system's been germinating them, they've gone into the presentation, they're watching the presentation, and now they just sent you a message to actively get involved. So people can communicate with that. It'll come through your email, and you can respond right back to them through email. So when you hit the reply button, it'll fire them back off an email directly into their inbox with the answers that you have. So it allows you to be able to interact with the people that are watching your webinars in real time. So let's go back into my contact manager here, and I'll show everybody how to get into your contacts. If I go across the top here and I click on the contacts button, you'll see that I have a little active button that says 7 people. You'll see here that right now I have this person that's registered. You'll see this is the email address that I put in. I have all the information, and of course you see that this person's registered. So like I said before, their status is going to change the second that webinar starts to webinar attended. And once it completes, the status will change to webinar completed. And it will switch it right in here. So you can actually start calling people and say, if it says webinar attended, but it doesn't say completed, you can call them up and say, hey, I noticed that you got on our webinar, but it didn't seem like you got all the way through it. I was wondering if there's something I can help you with. That it allows you to be able to customize that approach. Well, at the same token, if you see webinar completed here, when you call that person up to talk to them a little bit more about the business, if it's completed, they've actually not only signed through your complete website and gone through the entire process, but they've watched your entire webinar. This person should already be enrolled because these people are automatically germinated in that sense to be part of the Prosperity Cash Machine. So we've made it so that it's very, very simplistic process throughout the whole lead as they come through, all the way to the point where they become a lead in which you can call. So what I want to do right now is I want to simulate us giving this person a call. So let's simulate the call. I'm going to select my contact here. You'll see here we have their phone number here, so we can do it the old-fashioned way. by picking up the phone and giving them a call just by typing in the number. Or if, like many of you on the call, I'm sure, are familiar with the tool Skype. I absolutely live by it. If you have Skype, you can actually just one click and it will actually automatically dial out through Skype. So it's a great way to save on long distance fee, especially if you're calling all over the world. The other thing is not only does this work on my computer, which you can see I'm on a Mac right now, it'll fire up Skype on a Mac, but if I'm on my iPhone or on my Android phone, or if I'm on my tablet, it will actually use Skype to dial out on there as well, if I so choose to. So you can imagine sitting in a coffee shop, you have your tablet there with your headset on, you can actually start dialing out through Skype over the Wi-Fi, and the system is completely compatible with it. So I just wanted to make sure that you knew about that. Now, what happens here is when we make our phone call, we dial the person up, one of two things are going to happen. Either we're going to get a hold of them and we're going to connect with them, which is green, or we are not going to connect with them, which is red. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to simulate calling this person up, and I didn't connect with them. Well, if I didn't connect with them and I hit the red button, the system is going to ask me, why couldn't I connect? Well, we called and they're unreachable, and we want to add them to a callbacks list. Maybe we called and they were unreachable at all. Maybe it was a bad phone number. We want to get rid of them because they're no use to us right now because we can't get a hold of them. Or maybe we just want to disqualify them altogether, or maybe they became a business builder. We have some options here, okay? Now, when we select any of these outcomes, like let's say that I want to, I'm going to click on unreachable, add to callbacks list here. What's going to happen is the system will automatically recommend the next steps we need to take with this person. So it's going to send them out an email right off the bat. So as soon as we put the phone down, we've processed this outcome. It's going to send them an email with the unreachable message. So that means that it'll say, hey, how you doing? Sorry that we can't. Sorry that we're not able to get a hold of you. But let's keep in touch by email, and here's my number to get in contact with me. We also have an autoresponder that'll move them into different areas. In this particular case, we are not changing them out of the autoresponder. We're going to continue to germinate them. But you'll see as different steps happen, and as you progress consistently with these people, it'll automatically move them from step to step to step into different lists based upon the outcomes that happen. You don't need to know what you don't need to know the inner workings behind it. You just know that the autoresponders will move the people into the appropriate list based upon what happens. So it all takes care of it for you. And of course, it'll change the status to callback needed. So I'm just going to hit next here. And you'll see here that it actually it has an email already pre-built in here. It puts their first name in, and of course, it signs your information at the bottom. All the messages pre-written, ready to go for you. So it's at your fingertips. You can actually go ahead and put something different in there if you'd like, and you can save it for yourself. But just know that the emails are pre-written and ready to go for you. When I hit complete, it automatically sends this email out, going to them, personalized to them from me, and it puts it in their inbox. Already taken care of for you, okay? So based upon the outcome of the call, we couldn't get a hold of them, it's going to send them an email, and it'll move us on to the next contact. So let me just hit complete here, and you'll see now that we actually have somebody in our callbacks tab. How neat's that? You have new prospects that are people that come in from your website that are brand new, and everybody that you process that you need to call back will show up in your callbacks tab. Now the same thing goes for people that you connect with. If you connect with somebody, it'll move them into their follow-ups tab, and if they become a customer, it'll move them into the customer and business builder tab. So no matter what happens, if you select connected or no connection, and then tell the system what happened, so maybe attended the webinar, needed time to decide. If we choose this outcome, it'll move them into my follow-ups tab and send them the appropriate email with more information. So it'll move people from left to right. So new prospects will move from new prospects to callbacks to follow-ups until they either become customers or business builders or disqualified. Because you know what? If they get disqualified, it'll remove them right out of your system, put them into an autoresponder drip list, which will send them email over time to keep their interest level there. So our system will automatically send people into that drip sequence if you disqualify them. So either they're going to become a customer or business builder, or they're going to be disqualified. Those are the two options that happen at the end of this funnel. Because if they're in your callbacks or follow-ups, these are people that are still actionable. These are people that you still need to be calling and get them involved into the business. So you'll notice here that as we progress with each person, that as we process them, they'll move from left all the way over to right. So you'll see here that just a little bit more information here on the contact screen here so that you can understand it. The insight is an overview of exactly where they came in from. So they came in from the PCM system. If people are purchasing any kind of approved leads, or if you're part of it, future co-ops or anything like that, you'll see that the status or the origin will change based upon that. The IP address lookup tool will automatically determine where that person's from. So right now, it's actually found me in Canada here. So it'll show you the country of origin of that person, and it'll be pretty accurate as to exactly where they connected through. I'm a little far off Ottawa, but you know what? It's pretty close to accurate in that sense. You'll also have the ability to be able to see a detail of everything that you've done with this prospect. This is very important. You'll see that they registered for the webinar when they submitted the different forms. So they became a qualified lead, they became a registered prospect. Every time you talk to them, every time you make an action with them, every time you have autoresponders sent out to them, it tracks every single thing that happens in history. So the great thing is it keeps a complete journal of everything you've ever done with that individual, stores it all into one simple place, so that, for example, let's use this as an example. I have somebody that calls back 8 months down the road. They've been receiving the autoresponders, they've been disqualified. I'm not sure exactly where they are, but I do a search for them. I pull up their name. I have a detailed history of everything the system and I have done with them, so I can pick up my conversation where I left off. Very, very simple contact management, and you can understand the power of the autoresponders in behind the scenes, constantly talking with them and trying to get them back to that instant replay webinar. So right there, those two steps alone make the value of the $19.95 for the Pro upgrade worth it right there. It's like having your own personal assistant working for you and constantly following up and helping you build your business. We've had a few questions actually in regards to this as well, in regards to the webinar, and I wanted to just touch on this really quickly here. When people come in through the funnel, let me just grab the right page here. Just going to back her up. When people come into the sales funnel here and they go to register for the webinar, one option that has been added in here is if people want to see a previously recorded webinar. So they don't want to register for a specific time. Now is good. They're hot to trot. They really want to make sure that they see the webinar right away. They can actually watch a previously recorded webinar just by clicking below. And of course, what that's going to do is it's going to grab their name, phone number, and email address, but it will bring them to a webinar that is already pre-recorded. Between you and I, it's the exact same presentation that's shown in the instant replay webinar system, but this is a different approach. It allows them to see it right away. Now, the reason obviously you want people to book into those webinars is because then they're setting that time out of their day. They're putting that time aside. They've got the notepad in hand. It's a great way to make sure that they're going to listen to the entire presentation if they book that time in their calendar. Now, for the people that are on the go or they just want to see it right now, or maybe they're on mobile and have some time to kill, they can actually watch the pre-recorded webinar by just going there and actually putting their information. So we're still going to capture them, we're still going to qualify them, but they're going to be able to see that pre-recorded webinar right there by clicking a button. So I hope that answers the question there. I'm going to go back into my contact manager. Paul, did you have a quick?
Yeah, you might be about to cover that, but I think it's really important as well that people can take little notes in that top right-hand corner. You might be about to talk about that, but I think that's really handy. I always like to take the details about a person who I'm going to be working with. So it might be their daughter's name, their son's name. You can put things in there, so when you ring them back and talk to them, you've got a little bit of social activity with them before you say, "Hey, do you want to join my business?" So you can just type in if they're good, if they're a hot lead, your own little notes as well, which is really important.
So I'm actually going to do that just so that you can see, because it will store everything in history. And once again, the importance of amazing because what's going to happen here is when we add the notes into the system, it will store that information. So when we go back and we talk to this person again, or even if it's, imagine it's 6 to 8 months down the road, right? If we come back to this person and we're talking to them that much down the road, having the notes on exactly what you talk to them or what they're into, anything that you grab from that contact when you're actually talking, if you put it in the notes, you're going to have it stored with that contact for life. And actually, I had that happen to me not too long ago because I use Home Office Pro in the PCM type system on a regular basis for what I do. And I had somebody call me up, and I haven't talked to them for over a year. I had made detailed notes, and I was able to pick up the conversation where I left off. Very key to make sure that you make detailed notes when you're talking to anybody. That's a great point, Paul. Thank you. So what I want to do is I want to show a little bit more about the marketing system that's built into here. So as you're doing your marketing, as you're getting your websites out there and you're placing them into different advertising, there's a lot of tools that you have here to be able to track your advertising efforts, as well as neat little tools to allow you to be able to get out there over social media channels and that kind of thing. So I want to talk about that here for you as well. First off, the marketing panel here will show you the website traffic that's coming through. As you can see, we had a spike on launch because, of course, we used this particular website as a showcase when we actually launched the PCM marketing system. You can see that it shows how many visitors we have and how many leads actually were generated based upon that traffic. So that is it's a very key statistic to know when you're doing advertising campaigns, as well as the different traffic sources that are generating that particular traffic. You'll also see that the leads that are returning to your site. So as people come back in return, these are different leads that have come into the system and where they've actually been hitting. They've been hitting my homepage quite a bit and when they do it. So we track everything. It's like an intelligence system built right into your website. I want to talk about the ad campaigns because I know that this is a big thing for a lot of people in PCM. The ability to be able to create ad campaigns and drive them directly at their lead capture page. Built into the Pro version, you have your own ad tracking system. So you can actually create campaign tracking links. So I'm just going to create a campaign here. I'm going to call it Facebook ad. I'm just going to create that here. And I can choose exactly where I want to put them to. So I'm going to put them to the main page for paid users because that will bring them right into my main system. And when I click on save, it's going to create an ad campaign that will now, I can use this particular link to put in my Facebook ad campaign, let's say, or if I'm putting it in a newspaper or wherever, I can use that particular link and it will track the amount of hits, leads, and the percentage of conversion for each one of those campaigns. You also have the ability to be able to split test between multiple different pages if you want to as well. So for more advanced marketers, you can do some of the split testing, but this is a great way to track if you're out there spending money on paid campaigns. By creating different campaign links for each one of those campaigns that you have, you'll be able to see exactly which one of your marketing campaigns are actually proving to be the better campaign. Now I want to show the articles as well, because the article system is very unique to the PCM system. This platform has a built-in blogging tool, and it's actually done in such a way that it's crowdsourced. And what that means is when you create articles and you create blog articles, you have the ability to be able to publicly share this with the community. So let's say that I create a really great article about the benefits of a home business, or the tax benefits of a home business. I had somebody that was a tax accountant that liked to blog a lot, and he kept on writing stuff about tax benefits and that kind of thing. Or any type of article that's relating to making money. It could be something as simple as a really good article of posting quotes and that kind of thing. But anything that you post on your blog, you have the ability here to be able to post directly into the Prosperity Cash Machine marketing system. And what this does, and I'll show you here. I want to create an article. We actually have quite a few articles already created, but when I create this article, it's going to push it out to the system, which allows me to be able to share my article with everybody in the PCM system. Now everybody's like, okay, well, why would I want to share my articles with other people? Like, it's my content. And for people out there that know anything about SEO, there's a huge problem with duplicate content. Well, here's what happens. You post your article, you share it with the community. What happens is that article will get all of the SEO value, so the search engine value. So for people that are posting blog articles and wondering why they're not getting ranked in the search engines very high, it's because of traffic. Well, we've created a way for you to get traffic by giving an incentive to other people within the Prosperity Cash Machine to share that article. Now, when they share that article, the neat thing about it is as people come back in through their social media feeds, for example, like if I was to share this article over Facebook, I can just do that right here. I can send it to somebody, I can like it and put it right onto my Facebook wall. But if I do that, it's going to post this particular article on my social media channel or tweet it or put it on Google Plus or Facebook. Now, when leads come into that and read the article that I recommended across my Facebook channel, there's built-in lead capture right into that article. As people read that article and they're brought into the lead capture, the person who shared that particular article will get the lead. So now, if you're not a big blogger and you don't create articles, you can actually utilize and share other people's articles to get leads. Great concept. Now, for the author, they want as many shares as possible because they're getting the search engine value out of that. They're getting more traffic into their blog, more traffic to the article. They're getting the recognition for the creation of that article, and the search engine rankings going up. So it's a complete win-win scenario for the people that are sharing the leads because they don't have to write the articles, and the people that are publishing the leads. So it's a great way for you to be able to utilize the Prosperity Cash Machine to its full advantage by utilizing the content, or if you're an active blogger, be able to use the PCM system to be able to actually blog and get the actual results, while at the same time building your business. Because of course you can share your share your own articles as well. Did you want to add anything to that, Paul, or shall we keep on going?
No, Scott, I mean, I think this is a really, really important part of what we do, because someone can join the business, they can grab an article, they can post it on Facebook, they can share it, they can start generating leads to their business very, very quickly. And hopefully the people watching will already see that when we say marketing system, it is just that. It's not an autoresponder system. It's not a lead management system. It is a marketing system that will help you build a business professionally, tracking everything, and we will continue to provide content. I know Julie's very busy writing more content at the moment. We intend to bring different capture pages in. At this point, I'll quickly say we're redoing the webinar with additional graphics and a new, and we're redoing that, so that'll be live in a week or so. So we are going to build out this platform to give you everything you need, and this sharing articles is incredibly powerful. So, you know, if you're creative, get writing. If you're not creative, get sharing, and you'll start getting leads into your system. They'll be dripped on by the various autoresponders in this system, and then you've got people who can, if you can't do it yourself, we've got people who can help you close your leads as well. You know, this is why Julie and I were so excited when we sat down with Scott 2.5, 3 months ago and said, look, this is what we're looking for, and this is what we wanted to build for us, and this is what we've got, and we intend to make it absolutely amazing. So, Scott, back to you.
Absolutely. And one thing that I'm going to make a comment on, and I'm going to talk to our developers about this as well, I'm going to add a widget on the front page of this website that allows you to be able to get to the sharing articles very, very simply. So if you want to get out there and you want to share articles and get to your marketing sales funnels and that kind of thing, I'm going to put it right here on that main home screen so that you can actually be able to access all the community's content that you can then share across your social media channels. I'm going to make that, put that right here on the front page for you. So it's a little bit easier to access for people. One of the other things that I'm also going to put on the front page as well, just so it's easier in front of you, is the Warm Market Wizard. And this is a really neat feature that right now is currently working with LinkedIn, and we're just still in the process with negotiating with Facebook in regards to this, because they were allowing us to do things, and now they're not, and it's a constant war when it comes to Facebook. And if anybody has any developing experience, they know how great Facebook is to work with. We've created a really neat way to approach, and you can do it either by email, you can do it by mobile device, or you can also approach through LinkedIn, which is kind of neat. And I'm going to show you exactly how you'd go ahead and do that. First of all, what you'd want to do is when you select the way that you want to do it, you choose your approach. So it's either going to be a business-focused approach, or it's a social media designed approach. So let me just go in here, and I'm going to choose business approach here. And you'll see here that it has a message here. Hi, it puts their name in, and it's a nice, simple approach that you can send out to somebody over your social media channel. Now, when I click on next, what it's going to do is it's going to actually ask me to sign in to LinkedIn. So I'm going to do that right now. I'm just going to sign into my LinkedIn account, And you'll see here it authorized directly through here, and I just have to put in, just log into my account here. Let's just hope I remember what my password is. There we go. I'm logged in. That's how easy it is to connect directly into LinkedIn with our system. So as soon as you authorize it, all of your contacts inside of LinkedIn will show up right here. So now all I have to do is choose exactly who in my business list here in LinkedIn I want to approach with this business. Imagine that. How simple is this? And then I click on Next. And what it's going to do is it's going to allow me to make a quick modification if I want to make any modifications to the body of this this message. I recommend sticking with what's there. You can make small modifications. The last thing you want to be is way too pitchy and sales-like to your friends. That's why we wrote this in such a way. And it will bring them back directly to your website so that they can be qualified as a lead. When we hit complete, it sends it directly into the inbox of all those people over LinkedIn. And there is a limitation with LinkedIn. We did negotiate that you could do 10 at a time within LinkedIn. So I know there was a question in regards to that. How many can we share at a time? I wish we could just go ahead and be able to list everybody and have it sent out. But LinkedIn said, well, we don't want problems with spam, and of course, neither do we with the PCM system. So we made a deal with LinkedIn so that you can do 10 at a time. So that it'll drop it right directly into their LinkedIn mailbox. The thing is if you're like me and carry around your mobile phone, I have LinkedIn tied into my phone right now. Anybody that messages me back in regards to that, it will automatically show up on my phone. So it's a great way to get directly connected with those people. And of course, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, definitely go out and get one, because it's a great way to be able to build your business contacts. Of course, so is Facebook, but like I said, we have a team of people that are working on it, working around the restrictions that Facebook has put into place. Now, the other way that you can do it as well is you can actually approach people by a major list. So like if I select approach people by a contact list, I could choose my approach once again, and I can actually build out my warm market list here. So I can put the name, email, phone number. This is a great way to get people like that are brand new, to give them a task of, here's the thing. What you want to do is you want to build out a list of the first 10 people that you can think of that could be interested in this business. They plug these people in, it'll automatically approach them with that nice warm approach through email, and it will bring them back into the system. It will also add them into the tool. So this is a great warm market step to be able to start building your list and teaching your new people to start building your list so that they can duplicate. Now, there's a lot of things in the behind the scenes that the Prosperity Cash Machine has. On this particular call, we wanted to keep it nice and short. I wanted to keep it under a half an hour. It seems like it kind of went a little over that because I tend to like to talk about a lot of things. But we'd like to open it up to Paul or Julie. Do you have any other things that you want me to touch on before we close off the call?
Scott, I think it's been very good of you to take the time out. I know you're busy to do this for us, and perhaps maybe next week we could do another one, which would just briefly go over some of the other features we've got here. You know, the messaging system, the training system, the fact that we are adding new content all the time. Maybe just touch on the messaging, Scott, if you would, because I think that's really important. That you can message your own team here, like Skype, but within the system. That's important, and you can create your groups with your leaders and the people that are actually out there building the business. And as I said earlier on, I think the whole point of this is, you need to let people know that this is a marketing system and not just a one thing. It's a multitude of things. And for $20 a month, you'd be foolish not to take it. We're using it. We think it's great. And as I said, we're going to build it out, get more content in there. There's be videos going in there. I know Scott's got some stuff he's putting in for us to help us all out, and it means that when you get someone new joins your team, they sign up for this, they get this $1 trial for 30 days, they can market their business. And if they follow the system and follow the stuff in here, there's no reason why they're not going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sales. And the secret to this business is joining and then helping someone make a sale. And that's why we have this system. Scott, if you could just touch on that one thing, and then we'll end this tonight, and then perhaps we can do another one next week with anything else you've added or just a brief recap.
Sounds great. Well, I just definitely want to show the messenger system because it's a great way to communicate. As people come signing through, you can actually add them as friends. So very similar to like Skype, for example. You can add people as friends. If you've actually invited them to the system, it'll automatically show up underneath you. So sending them an invite link through your marketing center is one great way to actually be able to get people in and underneath you. But of course, you also have the ability to be able to add friends. Like if I wanted to add somebody into the system, let's see, let's search for Scott. See if I have an account in here. Yep, here we go. So it found me in here, and Paul's going to add me as a friend. So click on add, and what it's going to do is it's going to send me a request, a friend request. Now I can start building different groups. So if I'm working in advertising groups, I can create groups of contacts that I can actually message back and forth. It allows you to be able to work with teams, and it's like a built-in email client that will allow you to be able to obviously check your inbox, all your sent messages. It also will alert you as people complete the different steps throughout the system. So it's an internal mail client that allows you to be able to communicate really well. We did have a really good question. One of them actually is this being recorded? And absolutely, it will be recorded, and it will be available as of tonight, available for you to be able to share with people and to be able to recap as well. I'm sure that Paul, that you'll make sure that gets sent out to people, or Paul or Julie will send it out. We also have a really good question about how to set the system up, and that's something that we haven't touched on, believe it or not. If you are a free
Scott, I was just going to say, can you talk about the syncing of the emails? That's one thing I did want you to cover very briefly. Okay.
When you first get set up, let's talk about the setup, and then I'll tell people how to actually synchronize, because it's a neat feature that's built into here. PCMsystem.com/register. If you go to PCMsystem.com/register, and I'm going to put that into the text chat box here so everybody can have that. If you haven't yet registered, you can just click on it. You'll notice it comes up in your GoToWebinar there. It's a nice little blue link. When you click on that, it allows you to be able to register for free. Now, once again, the free people, they have a different version, so almost like a light version of the website that will show them a video. Doesn't have the webinars, and it doesn't have the autoresponders, and it doesn't have the advanced contact management and marketing center. But you do have the option to be a free user, or you could try out the Pro system, and it'll be available to you. Let me just pull you right up there so you can see what the register screen looks like. You have the ability to be able to try it out for $1 for the first 30 days. So you could try it out. It's only $1. You get all the full tools, and you can make that decision for yourself if the autoresponders, the instant replay webinars, the marketing center, all of that is actually worth your while. And you can see the difference between the Pro and the Basic right here. Now, by registering for free and getting in there, it's going to give you the opportunity to try it out for $1 on the secondary screen. The neat thing is how do you get it set up? Well, once you register, it's all set up for you. All the autoresponders are written, all the emails are written, everything is preset. The account that we just walked through right there is exactly what you're going to get the second that you register. So there's no setup required. You get your URL, which is PCMsystem.com, and then / your username, and of course all the autoresponders, everything's in place. Start marketing, and you'll start seeing people come through. There's no setup required. All right. Is there any final things that we could touch on, Paul, before we close it off? Like I said, this is going to be recorded and in the back office. It'll be a little bit later on today.
Scott, can you hear me? Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't find my unmute button. Yeah, one of the things that when you're new to the system and you come into the back office, there'll be a little link that says, "Do you want to sync your emails?" We have had some, yeah, could you just cover that, and then that'll be us, Scott.
Okay, sounds great. When you first come into the system, and of course, it'll happen periodically. What happens is when leadership update the emails, so the autoresponders, they're out there, you can actually synchronize by hitting the red button. It'll show up right across here. It's a little red bar that says synchronize your emails. What that will do is, since you have your own autoresponder account, you have the ability to be able to modify and tweak those emails. When there's new emails that are available to you, you can actually just click on the synchronization button. That will show up. It's not showing up here because we're already synced, but it'll show up a little button to sync. And what that will do is it'll pull all the new emails that have been written, and it will install them into your system. So instead of having to rewrite all the time for yourself, You don't have to copy and paste any emails. The system will automatically do all that for you. It'll update your system and account, and it takes care of it all for you just by hitting the sync button. And it's a good idea to do that so that you have the most up-to-date emails in your autoresponders. Okay, so
Scott, that is brilliant. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Well, thank you all for
listen,
joining us on the call today.
Scott, yeah, Scott, thank you very much indeed. So I know you're busy, and that's great. We'll get the link out to everybody. Hopefully, for those of you that have taken time out of your day to come on this webinar, you'll appreciate, you know, a lot of thought and a lot of ideas and a lot of blood, sweat, and equity, and sweat equity has gone into putting this system together. You know, it will help you build your business. There's no two ways about it. And I recommend everyone, when you bring someone into the business, you get them straight into this system, you get them sharing the articles, you get them getting their contacts out on LinkedIn. Touch wood, the Facebook stuff will be back soon, but it is possible to take as Scott has shown you, to grab an article and put that straight in and post it into Facebook manually, so there's stuff you can get in there. Bring people back to your funnels, get people in front of the webinar, which, as I say, will be upgrading and improving shortly, and you will make money using this system and the fast start bonuses. And as your team builds and more people start using the system, then of course your cycle bonuses and the $900 kick in. It's all designed to work in harmony. Scott, thank you very much indeed. We'll get this recording out to people as soon as we can. And for everyone, we'll see you on the next webinar, and we'll send you information on that. So thank you very much, Scott, and good night, everyone.
Thank you so much. One thing before I say goodnight, I just want to let everybody know that if you do have additional questions, feel free to email support@pcmsystem.com. So like if you have any kind of questions like that, we do have a support staff that's there to assist you and to be able to help you. And I will put that that email address right here in the little link box so that you'll have that for it. So that you feel free to go ahead and email them with any questions that you have. And we have a lot of trained people that have been through this, and they've been working on it on this platform for the last 8 years. So they know how to answer the questions for you. So feel free to email at the email address that I'm going to put into the box for you. So thank you, everybody, and everybody have a great rest of the day.
Scott, one more thing, sorry, before you go. If you're watching this, I just know that some people probably have never seen GoToWebinar, and they might be going, where is this chat? If you see the little blue in the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see little blue boxes, screen sharing, dashboard, etc. Go to the one that says chat, and if it isn't open, just click it, and it'll open up a window, and then you'll see the chat, and you'll have the links there and the email that Scott is talking about. So that's that. Once again, Scott, thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.
All right, thank you.